Hello and welcome to Outside In. My name is Steven. Today we're going to be looking at something a little bit different than I'm used to doing. I thought I'd take a break from air quality monitors, and about a month ago I was doing some research. There was a video popped up about a tabletop ice cube maker. So I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I should go ahead and get one of these. Not only that, I could maybe make a video about this. So I started researching. I started watching a lot of videos about these. And most of the videos that I watched were pretty much directing me to buy something. And I found myself coming away from videos with more questions than answers. So I was like, and that's usually how I end up with a video idea. It's hard for me to come up with ideas because things have been done so many times. And I'm like, what can I possibly do to add to what has already been done? When I come away from videos with more questions than answers, that's usually when a light comes on. Hey, Steve, there's a really good idea. The first thing I started thinking about was, I wonder if somebody would be able to take one of these on a camping trip to be able to use with say a 200 watt power inverter that you plug into your cigarette lighter. And that would be pretty awesome if we could use this to make ice in a pinch from our car. Well, we're going to be testing how many watts it pulls when it's running. We're also going to be testing the decibel level of this while it's running. We're going to test how long it takes to make the first little bit of ice to be able to put into your drink. And then also I want to test and see how long it takes to make a full batch of ice in this. Then I thought of something else. Once the ice is made, how long will it last? Right now it's 85 degrees in here, and I usually keep my AC set at 83, but to keep the noise down I turn my AC up to 90 just in case, so it doesn't come on while I'm doing this video, because we'll be able to let this set here and see how long the ice lasts in this, because it's supposed to be insulated. It says it's insulated, and once the batch of ice is completely made, how long will the ice last before it melts? I thought that would be interesting also to test. So let's take a look at this ice maker and do some testing. Without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, now here is the ice maker. Now I left this little sticker on here so I could show everybody if we can see it here, because it says, before plugging in your ice maker, allow it at least 2 hours to stand upright for the refrigerant fluid to settle. So I thought that'd be good to let people know. Okay, so this here is, let me see if I can zoom in there, get a better shot. Okay, so this is the add water light. So when the water gets low, this light should come on to say add water. I guess I'm assuming, I haven't used this yet. I just unboxed it today. The ice full light is probably when all the ice has been made. This is the power light. This is the power button. And this is the select button for if you want small ice cubes, S for small, and L for large ice cubes. Well, we're going to see what the difference between small and large is. Also, we're going to be using a power meter to find out how many watts that it pulls, and we're also going to be using a decibel meter to see how loud it gets. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, we need to put water in it because, well, without water we can't have ice. So this is the tray that holds the ice, and they give you a cute little ice scoop to scoop out ice, and this is the reservoir inside here. There is a max fill line right here, and right now we have 1 quart of water I'm going to pour in there, and we're going to find out how much it holds. Okay, so this, see if it holds 2 quarts. Wow, so a half a gallon of water it's holding, and then we close the lid The fan is on this side. So before we test the power it's pulling, let's turn it on. I will be real quiet so we can get an accurate reading on decibels. Okay, that's pretty awesome. 47 decibel after the fan kicked on. This thing is very quiet. Okay, now we're going to see how many watts it's pulling. 96 watts. The timer's already going, so we're going to see how long it takes for that first little bit of ice to come out, to be spit out into the tray here. Because once the ice is made, then it'll push it into the basket, and we'll see how long it's going to take for the first little bit to come out. Well, I'm going to say that took about 8 minutes to make. But we're going to do this again though, because this is the first time that I've run it. So maybe it would be quicker the second time and after that. But now we want to see how long it takes on large to make a complete batch of ice, and then how long the ice will last after it's been made before it melts away. So it seems that it took another 8 minutes to make another section of ice, and these look a little bit better. Like I say, this is the first time I'm using this machine, so it may take one full batch. Actually, I think they recommend that you run this one full batch before you actually start using it. And those ice cubes looked a little bit better, even more. And that was another 8 minutes. So on large, it seems to be every 8 minutes. And it'll probably be the same for the small, maybe a little bit sooner than that. But we'll see on the next full batch. And so far it's been around 27 minutes altogether. And now it's about up to 107 watts. 107.5. So it looks like a 200 watt inverter that plugs into a cigarette lighter would be plenty to run this. We'll keep an eye on that. See what the highest wattage would be while using this. And the decibel level's been staying around 47 to 49. So pretty awesome. Pretty quiet. Easily be able to have this set on the table and have a nice conversation without being disturbed too much. We'll see how long this takes to make a full batch. Okay, so I thought I'd check and see what the temperature is in there. Now the probe is not touching the ice. I did that on purpose. So it's saying it's about 53 degrees in there. It's 85 outside here. If you have a small cooler, you might want to dump the ice into the cooler every time that little shovel comes out and puts some out. It might last longer. But so far, still looks like all the ice cubes are in there. And now our highest wattage so far has been 160. Yeah, those cubes are even bigger. Yeah, it seems to be getting better with every shovelful. Okay, all right, now what we want to do is I took the ice out of here, and that was pretty awesome because I was going to show a video of this melting down, but I think that video must have recorded for a couple hours and it was barely even down. So this is going to last a long time with ice in here because it was actually everything got stuck together because once it got full, it was making everything cold. So this is pretty awesome. That ice is going to last for quite some time in there. All right, and like I said, it's 85 degrees in here, and I checked the humidity. It was 44% humidity, so humidity pretty high. But now what I want to test though is I want to see, we're going to see how long it takes to make the small. But we're not going to go through all of the whole thing like the large because yeah, this video is going to be way too long if I do that. But I just want to see what the difference in size is between small and large. So here we go. We press on and then select S for small. And we'll see how long it takes to make a shovelful. So, all right, there it is. About eight and a half minutes. So it seems that small or large takes about the same amount of time. I'm going to let it run through one more time to see if it takes the same amount of time for the second shovelful because we are coming from large to small. So, but if it still takes eight minutes or so for the next shovelful, then yeah, I would just use it on large all the time. Doesn't look like there's too much difference in the size either. So it's possible the smalls take 7 minutes, large take 8 minutes. Now let's see what the difference in size is. Well, there is a difference, but definitely not much. This one is bigger than this one, but not a whole lot. This one's probably taking 7 minutes. This one's taking about 8 minutes. So myself, I think the large one would be the better. It's only a minute longer. So there you go. Now let's try because I know somebody's probably going to ask, what about a crush test? How hard is it? Oh my goodness. Okay, that's hard. Wow, that is hard. Really hard. Yeah, I can't crush it. People in the comments that say they're soft, but no way, this one's hard. I don't know. I definitely cannot squeeze that to break it. Yeah. Oh my goodness, no. Yeah, that is hard. Hard ice, hard ice. Okay, another thing that I want to show before I end this is how you can drain this instead of just taking this over to your sink and dumping it out. If you look underneath the front end, right here, there is a little nipple that you pull out and it'll drain out. But don't do like I did by mistake. I thought this was a hose and I pulled on it and water went all over the floor. So I had to stick it back in real quick. Okay, right there is the little nipple. It's in the front end on the bottom right side of the machine. Underneath the little nipple you pull down. Let me get the camera set up and then I'll pull it out. Alright, now the nipple under here, just pull it down and then drain out. And see that little nipple right there? Just goes back up in the hole when it's empty. And then wipe that out, clean it out, and good to go for another day. Okay, well, I discovered something pretty interesting, and I thought I would do one more check before I recommended this for a camping trip with a 300 watt inverter. Okay, I have here a 300 watt power inverter for a cigarette lighter in your car. The reason I'm doing this is because I noticed on this meter when it was on high before I reset it, it was showing 700 watts. So I was like, well, wait a minute. Then evidently there must be a surge. So I'm going to see if the 300 watt inverter want to kick on the compressor. And I think that's what's going on. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, I'm turning it on. Now it'll take a little bit for it to kick on the compressor. Okay, now it's on. I powered it on. It only hits the high watts for just like a split second. So I don't know if that inverter will cut off or not. Inverter, we'll see. Ah, no, it kicked off. Nope, it's not going to work. Bummer. Okay. Well, this is the Aglucky portable automatic ice maker. And as you saw, I was reading some of the reviews on Amazon, and there was one or two people anyway that I saw that said the ice cubes were soft, but I don't know what they're talking about because, yeah, my ice cubes, definitely, I could not crush with my fingers. Absolutely not. They're very, very hard. And also, what is a big bummer here, the highest wattage that I registered while doing that whole video, I think I must have been editing the first part of this for 2 or 3 hours before I finally came in and turned that off, stopped recording. And the ice was still, there was still a lot of ice in there. It seemed like the more ice that you get into this, the colder it keeps it, the rest of it, and it starts sticking together, clumping together. But after, I don't know, I haven't looked at the video yet, but 2 or 3 hours that I was recording that, it barely went down. So that's pretty awesome. Like I said, the highest wattage that I recorded, that I saw throughout that first video that was 2 hours long that I have to edit, 164 watts is what the highest that I registered while it was working. What I didn't realize was evidently when the compressor kicks on, it draws, I saw 748 watts. But it's only for like a split second. But that 300 watt inverter wasn't enough to let it do that. That's why it kept shutting off when it got to get ready to kick on the compressor. So you could still use this, I think. Yes, you can still use this for camping, but I think unfortunately, even though it only runs to the highest as 164 watts while it's running, unfortunately, I think you're going to need at least a 1,000 watt inverter just to be able to allow the compressor to kick on. This is really nice. I really like this thing. It makes ice pretty quickly. The large, it made in about every 8 minutes. It brought out another shovelful. When I set it to small, the first time it took about 8 minutes, 8.5 minutes for the first time. But the second shovelful on small did it in like 7 minutes. So, but for me, the large is bigger than the small, as you saw in the video, but it looked like it might have been 1.5 times the size maybe of the small. So it's only a minute longer for the large. So for me, I would probably just set it on large and be done with it. So that's it for the Aglucky portable automatic ice maker. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to say, but I don't think there is. So I'm just going to end the video like I always do. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Find someone that needs a reason to go on and give them that reason. Find someone that needs to laugh and make them laugh. And I will see you in the next one.